great people. Coach Tion Singatery's in the house, and I am so excited that you are able to be here with us on this TSLE WLI. And if you don't know what I stand for, then guess what? You better stand by. Tion Singletary Research Department Weekly Live Inspiration. Are you ready to be empowered? Are you ready to be inspired? Are you ready to allow your greatness to shine here on today? I am the motivator of excellence, so you better go tell somebody because we're going to have a great time here on today. We have an awesome and amazing another guest speaker here on this episode of series of just power talk, some things that can really empower you and inspire you to move forward towards your greatness. And I'm telling you, you are going to enjoy what we have in store for you here on today. So are you ready? Have you liked, love, care, share this post yet? If you haven't yet, do it. I already did it. And I'm going to throw some more love in the house. And I hope that you will do the same thing too. And share this post on your Facebook page, on your groups, on all your social medias that you have, because this talk is going to inspire somebody. And that somebody may be you. That somebody also can be someone that see this post on your page. So share the love. Like John Maxwell would say, be a river and not a reservoir. I'm just so happy that you are here with me on today. Again, I know this is the third episode for today, and we are full of energy because we are just loving life and loving the opportunity for the first day of 2023. And you starting off right by empowering your mindset, which is very, very important. So no further ado, we're going to go ahead and get going with the topic at hand and introducing our guest speaker here today that will empower you and inspire you. Are you ready? Are you ready? We have Dr. Raykel Tolson, who is an author and money mindset consultant who encourage the children of God to elevate their thoughts surrounding money while offering practical solutions to grow and protect their money. She writes inspirational nonfictions, children picture books, romance. I mean, she has also contributed with writing for the Living Day by Day Magazine and host of Bless Mindset Matters on WYTV 7. Yeah, I said it. Come on, Doc. Come on. Please turn on your video, turn on your mic, and let's have a great conversation here on today. Everybody, throw your hands up in the air. Go ahead and do love. Let me see them love, 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 love. Yes, we have the Doc in the house. How we doing, man?
Hi, Happy New Year and Happy Kwanzaa. It's the last day of Kwanzaa, so Happy Kwanzaa.
Awesome. So tell everybody a little bit more about you and why are you excited about 2023?
Oh, well, so as you already introduced me, I'm Dr. Raykel Tolson, and yes, I'm a money mindset coach, consultant. So let me tell you how I started that because I wrote a book called Why Are Church Folk Poor? And
Mm,
it's to elevate your thoughts and exercise your faith to live an abundant life. So we kind of stop it at Why Are Church Folk Poor, but all of that is the title, right? And I wrote that because I'm church folk. And I moved from Orlando, Florida to Los Angeles, California, where the prices of the houses probably are triple or quadrupled, right? So when I moved there, I looked at the housing prices. I was like, oh man, I'll never be able to buy a house. You heard what I said? I'll never be able to buy a house. That's a
keyword
mindset. That
never.
wasn't the truth. I looked at the circumstances and thought that that was the truth, but that wasn't the truth. That was my mindset. Because the same God that bought me a house, that allowed me to buy a house in Orlando was the same guy in California. So it took me 10 years to change my mindset. 10 years
Y'all hear
to
that?
change
10
my
years.
mindset. But I did it. When I changed my mindset, God was like, girl, go get you a house.
Mm.
And I'm like, when he said that in my spirit, I said, you do know how much houses cost out here, right? And this was in 2015, 2016. And so I was like, okay, out on faith, I'm going to go and see if what kind of money I qualify. So they said, oh, you qualify for $500,000. I was like, ooh,
Mm.
okay. So then I started looking for a house. I ain't find no house I like for 500,000. And then I had a Nigerian landlord. And when I told her I was thinking about moving to buy a house, she was like, oh, good. She was like, well, what you looking for? I was like, 4 bedrooms. She's like, stop. She stopped me before I could get started. She's like, why you need 4 bedrooms? It's you and your son. I was like, well, I want a guest room. She said, stop. Why are you buying a room for people that you don't even want to stay there for a long time? I was like, oh my gosh. So she was like, look, I'm not sending you any listings unless it's a duplex or more. She was like, you have the power so you can be a landlord, a homeowner and a landlord at the same time. She's like, so that's what we're going to do. I was like, okay. She sent me this listing, and it was a listing that I had already looked at. I had already been looking at it, but I didn't think I could afford it because it was $630,000. And I was like, but they only giving me five. And you know what she said? She was like, is there anything too hard for God? She's like, don't you believe in God? So that she convicted me that this wasn't a God thing. This was a mindset thing. And she helped me, and I got my mindset right. Now, mind you, I had no money in the bank for a down payment. This was strictly on faith. And this was strictly mindset, changed my mindset. In 6 months, I found a house. We put an offer on it. I had to come up with $30,000 in 6 months. Zero, starting from zero. 6 months. So I had to change my mindset. My mindset about asking people for stuff. Because we so proud. We don't want to ask nobody for nothing.
Right.
Well, it's the thing is takes a village to raise a child. No, I'm still that child. I still need my village. I'm still the same child. It ain't just for people that's minors. It takes a village to raise you all the way through life. Okay, so got to my village. It was 3 people. I was like, I'm gonna come up with 15, and I need 15 from y'all. All three of them gave me 5,000. Got it. I came up with my 15,000, which was still not easy to do. I had to be real,
Thanks,
real
right?
tight. But we did it. And collectively, we bought that property that had 2 houses on one property. And so I was thinking I could not have one house in California. And God was like, once you change your mindset, girl, I gave you two. Oh my
Look at
gosh. So
God.
I'm teaching people about mindset because it's not a God thing, it's a mindset thing.
Mm.
And like, so when I was writing that book and I would put it out, and then it was like, I really spoke to my heart. You got to give people some practical too. Yeah,
Mm.
you can work on their mindset, but they also need the practical stuff because I didn't just come up with $15,000. It was some practical things I had to do to get that. And so now I'm trying to teach people some practical, simple ways to save and grow and protect their money. So
Mm.
that's basically in a nutshell what I do. That was a long introduction, right?
No, I love it. No, I love it. That was good because you helped me to create some more questions out of the first question that I asked. I was like, wow, okay, let's do it. So, how can broke-minded people shift their mindset to having the thought process that they can find the money or they can find ways on how to make things happen?
So this is a perfect day for you to ask that question because, like I said, in America we celebrate, not everybody, but a lot of African Americans, we celebrate Kwanzaa, and today is day 7. And in day 7 of Kwanzaa, we celebrate the principle of Imani, which is faith.
Mm.
But Most people don't have a faith in God problem.
Mhm.
Most people have a faith in themselves problem. We worship God by saying, "Oh God, you are great, you are this, but I am a filthy rag, I am a sinner."
Mhm.
That's the first problem. And and I'm just saying this as a mother, okay? When I hear my son talk negatively about himself, I take it personal because that's my child. How you calling my child worthless? Because that means that something is wrong with it. He my blood, he my
Exactly.
flesh. I poured into this child. You know what I'm saying? How dare you speak about my child like that? So
Mhm.
and if I'm like that, and I'm just wondering, God's sitting up there or sitting in wherever God is sitting, right? And when we die, like, oh God, I'm worthless. I'm a rag. I'm not worthy. He's like,
Really?
what? What are you talking about? So I really promote on this day faith in ourselves.
Mhm.
We have to have faith that God, we are children of God, and that everything God is, we are. So we wrote a children's book called Ren's Affirmation, God is good and so am I. And what we do, we teach kids that all those attributes of God that you learn in church and that people talk about, you have those too. It's within you. That's where the power starts. Period. You can be in church all your life and know that God has power, but until you decide that you got the power, okay? Now because God is good, life is gonna be okay. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just gonna be okay. To have the abundant life that Jesus was talking about, you got to have that faith
Mindset
and the
shift.
power in you. You got to know that the power is in you, and it's
Yep.
the power that's in God. It's working through us.
Yep.
All of these things are found in the Bible now. I'm
Yep.
not coming up with stuff that I'm just talking. All these things I found in the Bible. And that's what I was teaching in the book. There are principles of God that we don't even follow.
Mm.
And we call ourselves
Mm.
God people, God children, children of God. And we
Yep.
don't follow those principles. And there are people outside of the church following those principles and they label it something else. They label it the law of attraction.
Yeah.
That's what they label principles of God because they don't want to use God.
Mm.
They use universe, but God like tomato, tomato. I'm God, I'm universe, because I am that I am. It's like when people call me Raykel or Ray or Doctor, it's still me. So, but that's what happened. And so I'm trying to bring that back into the church. I want the children of God to walk in that power, to walk in the faith of knowing that they have the strength and the power to move mountains, the power to buy houses in cities that people say you can't afford to buy a house in, to buy, like Tyler Perry got a whole studio.
Exactly.
They didn't want to do his movies. He said, okay, the God in me will just do my own studio. You know what I'm saying? And that's the power of God working in him. He understands that. And so we have to get to that point. Yes.
Exactly.
That's how we change our money mindset.
That's it. And it's all about authority, right? Knowing your authority
Yes.
and walking in your authority. And
Yeah.
and once you become aware of that and you begin to live that out,
Hmm.
you will feel it more and more. And the people who's truly faithful and in the spirit will see that authority too as well. The ones that are not really in the spirit, they will see that as, oh, you being cocky, you being conceited, oh, you that's not godly, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's just their point of view, their perspective. But if
Yeah.
you just everything you needed to know about success in life, that's where it all comes from.
Hmm.
My my foundation is the Bible, and that's where it comes from, right? So just being able to live out your life the best way you can will just increase your success rate tremendously. And there's two things that I learned that I taught on my Vision Your Year webinar on last night. There's two things that can help you out to move forward. I'm only going to share you one, and that one is You have not because you ask not.
Mhm.
We always want stuff and we're like, yeah, I want this, I want that, I want that. But have you went to God and asked for it? And have you asked him in detail? Or just try to beat around the bush? God, if you can you give me this? Right?
Mhm.
You gotta be detailed on what you want and what you need in your life, because he's gonna give you exactly what you asked for. If you ask for 50K, he's gonna give you 50K. It may not be the way how you want it, right? He may have broken it up in pieces. By the end of the year, you're gonna have to. It's
Right,
called
right, right.
SMART goals, right? So I had to shift my mindset in that. I said, you know what? I'm not gonna ask for that. I'm gonna ask for 10K a month, because that's what I really want to aim for, 10K a month. So within my business, within what I do, as a living in the military and everything. And that way I can be able to use that monthly to build myself. Now, I just want 50K, 100K for the year.
Yeah,
And then they
right,
happen at the last minute. Where you been the whole time? Well, this is what
right.
you
You
asked
know,
for, right?
but then let me just share this though, because you're so right about the asking, and that but I think that what people and I'm not let me listen. I say but and you
Mm.
ask for it, and then so there's a thing that I always say. If you want, so where I live in Los Angeles, San Diego is south of. I have to go south to get to San Diego. I was like, you can't say I want to go to San Diego and then get on the freeway going north.
Not gonna happen.
You can't say, God, I want to go to San Diego, but I'm going to get in the car and go the wrong
And
way.
I'm gonna drive my way.
So if you're saying, God, I want $10,000 a month, what you can't do for real, if you have a job making $3,000 a month, think that you just going to be on that job making, and then all of a sudden the people on the job going to give you $7,000 more. I'm not saying it can't happen, but let me tell you, it probably not gonna happen that way. And people ain't trying to give you more than what they. I'm just saying. Now
Exactly.
you can go and find another job,
Mm.
or you can say, you know what, God, the talents and gifts that you put in me to bake these cookies, I'm gonna start making these cookies and selling them. Now I say cookies because y'all, I think I want a cookie right now. I think that's why I say a cookie, because I'm ready for a cookie. But I digress. But so when you say I made $3,000 on my job, but how many cookies would I have to sell, and how much would I need to sell those cookies for? And do
Break
I
it
need
down.
to find,
Break it down.
like people, or do I need to find like a business that maybe they don't sell cookies, or maybe I went in there and their cookies aren't even that good, and I can share. They sell their cookies for $1, but if I sell them mine, tell them to sell it for $2, and they give me $1. Whew, I done just helped somebody who sell cookies. I'm just saying, I done
All
helped
right.
somebody that
Hey, we
sell
got
cookies.
some bakers
I hope
on. Let me
y'all
see.
was
We
taking
got
notes.
some bakers on.
But that's the thing, and it's like, but that's a missing piece in a
It is.
lot of our
It is.
prayers. Our prayer. I was telling somebody, it's like, I think I'm always hungry. I guess y'all can tell I be hungry a lot. So, but it's like if I'm sitting at the house like, ooh Lord, I want a cake. Oh Lord, I want a cake. Lord, send me a cake. When I'm praying that, right? I'm really praying outside. I really am looking for God to have somebody come knock on my door and say, "Oh, I
And
thought
give you
about you. I brought you a cake." I'm
a
like, because that's been me. That's recently. That's been me. And God was like, "Girl, do you go see what it take to make a cake? Do you have the ingredients to make a cake? And then if you don't, so what if I had like all this stuff but I didn't have one thing? Do you know that's that part when you go to your neighbor and say, "Excuse me, do you have a cup of sugar I can borrow? Do you have some flour? Cause I want a cake." You know what I'm saying? And then watch this. You stepping out on that faith, going to knock on the door, asking the person, they might have made a cake already. They be like, "You want a piece of cake? Girl, I made a cake yesterday. Come on in here and get you a slice." I don't understand what I'm talking about.
I
That
hope y'all
is the
got it
power
together.
of God, but for me to get to that cake at my neighbor's house, I had to go and look and see what ingredients I had because I had to start like I'm gonna do it for myself.
Mhm.
And then
That's
I
it.
was like, oh, I couldn't do it by myself. So then I
That's
had
it.
to ask for help. And then when I went and stepped out on faith and asked for the help so I could do it myself, God had a piece of cake right before me. All I
But you,
had to do, move. Now
but
I
you're
know I
good.
keep using it's because it's early and I haven't eaten breakfast yet. That's why I think I'm talking about food so much. But it's the same thing.
It
So
is.
I wrote a book called I Need a Christmas Angel. It's my first Christmas romance because I love Christmas movies. I want it to be a movie. Everybody that reads it, like they're like, oh my gosh, it reads just like a movie. It seems to be a movie. So I had to get out of my comfort zone
Mm,
last year and I had to do some things. I had to ask some people because making a movie, I don't care what I was that's a God thing. You can't do it by yourself. Even when I made my short film, it
yeah.
was a God thing. I needed some help to do that, right?
Wow.
But it to ask all these people and like and to get the no's or to not hear nothing back and then to, like to stay the course and keep moving. So let me just say this one thing about faith and empowerment and manifesting and all of this. You can't look at what you see in front of your face. You got to know that there's some things working in the atmosphere. Things are working on your behalf. God is putting your name. God is sending your book, my book, to somebody that I didn't even know was going to get it. I just got to know that I see right now, I don't have the money to do the book. I don't have any of the things I need to do the book. But I have to know that things are working around me. And I have to
Mm,
stay prayed up and I have to know when to move. When God say, go here, I gotta go. And I gotta
mm,
open my mouth when I get there and I gotta talk to people. I went
mm.
because there's an actress that I want to play in my movie, but she also is a producer and she has an ear to somebody, you know what I'm saying? And
Wow.
I
Look at
knew
that.
that she was gonna
Look
be
at that.
at this place because she was a comedian. And I was like, well, I'm gonna pay the $150 so I can go and meet her. I get there and I'm introducing myself to the ladies at the table, and my back is turned. I'm looking at, and I'm telling them, I said, well, you know, I came because I wanted to meet Kim Willie. The girl said, she right there. Me opening my mouth because my head was turned. If I didn't say that, I would have missed her. Y'all don't
uh,
hear me. Catch that right there. I opened my mouth and said what I wanted. And the lady was like, oh, there she is right there. I got up and I met her and I was able to meet her. And I know for a fact that that was a God thing and we gonna do some stuff together, okay? But here's the thing that I've got to tell y'all. Going to that function, a Hollywood function, I felt out of place. That was out of my comfort zone.
mm.
And people be like, what, you out of place?
Coming
You?
out of your comfort zone.
I felt out of place because I'm like, I'm not Hollywood. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to be around those people because I'm going to feel like, you know, I had to get out of my comfort zone and go for a place that I normally don't go.
Mm,
I had to talk to people and tell them what I wanted. And then I had to have the guts to go over and talk to the person that I needed to talk to without feeling any kind of way.
mm,
Whether she was gonna look at me like I was crazy or whether she like she did welcome me and was very gracious and I'm like, you know what? God is just keep showing me. He keeps showing me that it's me, it's my mindset that it's always me and my mindset. Always me and my mind. It's not a God thing. God, like I got you as soon as you move, everything's gonna be you just gotta keep moving.
that's the key word. Right. And in one of my new courses that I have about conquering your fears, the fifth step is take action now. Doesn't you don't have to have a 100% plan together. Just have something together and start taking action, bite size, baby steps. You just gotta take that baby step. And I'm glad that you step out in faith and you shared a nice cake message, making me hungry now too as well. I'm like, hey, where's my cake? She talking about cake. Where's my cake? Where's my red velvet cake?
Right, right. And but so Coach Tion, let me just say this because I know our time is winding up. What you
Yes.
said, those bite sized, the small steps, that's the same thing with money. And that's what
Mm,
I teach people money. It's not about having a lot of money to make a money. It's about being consistent with the small. If you start with $50 a month, if you start but putting away money to for the house, for the business, for your retirement. Now I know I don't look older, but I'm 53 years old. I
okay.
need to be thinking about life after work. Even though there is no retirement in God, God will have you working at 90. I can guarantee you. I just met a lady. Well, I heard of a lady that just wrote a cookbook, and I think she's like in her 90s. I was like, that you still working, but when you get older, let's just say 70s, right? You want to work when you want to work. You want to do when you want to do, but you want to make sure you live in the same way. I'm gonna still want to take trips. I'm not gonna want to just. So we have to start thinking about that and putting away money, and and that's what I teach people the small steps because we can actually create millionaires in our families if we start when they're like if there's you got a 1 year old baby in the family, everybody could put in $50 a month. That baby will be a millionaire by the time they're 50. That changes the life of a family. Wow.
It's working
So
together.
I'm trying to teach people if they change their mindset
Mm,
about things, you can do. God has given us everything we need. And if it's not in us, it's in the people around us or it's in the people that He gonna lead us to. But it's not coming from heaven. It's coming from the people around us. We are God's hands. We are God's voice. We are God's heart. And I'm trying to get people, share God's heart with people.
mm,
Speak to people when you meet. Hello, good morning. That might be the only good morning. God bless you. And of your loved one, I love you. Like, really. Because we should just think of ourselves as the God's hands and hearts and minds and all that stuff. So I just wanted to say that before we went.
It's great. I mean, I hope everyone that's listening and that will listen to the replay write down these key nuggets that she's been sharing with you. And I wasn't writing them down fast enough, so I'm gonna have to go back and replay it myself too. But stepping out of your comfort zone, open your mouth. Stop being quiet. Open your mouth on what you want and share it. And then step out in faith is the number one thing for today. Step out in faith. Whatever you are trying to wait on or hold on, or wait for the perfect moment when all the ducks is in order, just step out in faith. And those opportunities will come your way. The doors that needs to open will open, but it's never going to open. They're going to stay and remain closed until you do your part. And your part is
Mm-hmm.
stepping out in faith and allow things to happen for your good.
Right.
You holding yourself back. Stop holding yourself back, right? Take action now. Be bold and courageous and just be your authentic self and watch what happens. Guys, like I said 2 episodes ago, this year is going to be your best year ever. If you follow everything that we are sharing with you here today, I guarantee you will reap your rewards in the end. So, Doc, what is the best way that anyone can reach out to you if they connected with the story that you have shared, or if they like to talk to you about money mindset?
Okay, they can go to my website. It's www.raykeltolson.com. That's RaykelTolson.com. They can go there. They can get a free copy of my book, Mind on My Money. And I give you some tips about getting your mind on your money. I don't know if y'all know that song, but I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
My money on my mind.
Yes, so you can go get that free book. You can go and get the and on the website it also leads you so you can get the Wire Church for Poor book. But you can always reach out to me there. I'm on Facebook at Raykel Tolson. Um, and I'm on Instagram, so people can always reach out to me. And I am more than happy to share my knowledge. And I have they can go to my YouTube. It's the Blessed Mindset Matters podcast, I believe. But if you go to my website, it'll lead you to that.
Good,
Yes.
good. And I just post her website on the post of this video, so you can be able to have access to that as well. And then she's also tagged in the description area, so you can just click on her name and go to her website. You can go ahead and friend her or send her a message. Send her a thank you, because you just don't know how much a thank you means to us for what we do. A small thank you could change our mindset on maybe things happening in our life that's trying to knock us down. But your thank you can save us. So
Yes.
go ahead and just send a message saying thank you for sharing your story, because I know that it will empower her. So thank you so much, Dr. Raykel, for being here with us today, for sharing your money mindset max. I love it. I love it. I love it. Everyone, well, appreciate you for being here. Thank you for the like, love, and cares. And I know you share it, share it, share it. So continue to be great in you and be great in the things that God has empowered you to be, do, and have in life. I love you, and there's nothing, and I mean nothing, you can do about it. How are you doing, great people? It is your boy, Coach Tion Singletary, the host of the TSLE WLI. And if you don't know what that stands for, then guess what? You better stand by. Tion Singletary Leadership Empowerment, weekly live inspiration. Here to empower you, here to inspire you, here to help you reach your greatness. Why? Because you are greatness made from greatness. Subscribe to the podcast right now and share with a friend. This podcast is designed to help you reach your full potential. I will provide you special trainings for you and will have guest speakers to inspire you. All you have to do is join me. As Executive Director of the John Maxwell team and one of the prodigies of the Les Brown Power Voice Academy, I will provide you the ingredients that you need to make your success story. And the greatest story ever told is your story. We just have to do what my mentor, my friend John Maxwell says. We have to live intentionally. Subscribe to the podcast right now and share with a friend. Will you join me as we change our world together? Visit the website at www.tionsingletary.com for your free gift. Continue to be great in you and be great in the things that God has inspired you to be, do, and have in this thing we call life. Coach Tion Singletary signing off.